tell me about the knife. Whose knife was that?
That was hers.
It was a folding knife, huh?
I suppose, yes.
Okay. Did you ever have it and threaten her with it?
No, sir. Because when the police went in, she had the knife. But she wasn't threatening me with it either. She was just in the kitchen with it.
Okay.
We are about to watch the parole revocation hearing of a man who had got the break of his life, one might say. Now, this revocation hearing has nothing to do with the case that I'll review with you at the end in the unpacking. But for the record, he was sentenced or found guilty by a jury for taking another man's life. And then right before sentencing, it came out that there may have been perjury on the stand, witnesses that lied under oath, and they ended up ordering a new trial, never getting that trial, and setting him free. Now, he couldn't take advantage of that because he committed more felonies, got locked up, and now is facing a revocation hearing. Will he get lucky again this time? Let's find out.
I am going to read some allegations against you for violating your parole, and you're going to enter a plea of guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement. You were arrested by the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office on 5/21/2024 for the crimes of aggravated domestic abuse, felony, and false imprisonment, which is a misdemeanor. These charges were downgraded to criminal mischief misdemeanor, in which you pled guilty 7/16/2024. How do you plead?
Well, I did plead guilty to criminal mischief.
So you plead guilty to criminal mischief. Okay. Number 10, you've never made payments towards your fees, and you're currently $569 in arrears. How do you plead?
Plead guilty to that.
So you were released August of last year, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
We do have your sister, Shalisa Bertrand, who is joining us via Zoom, that would like to speak on your behalf, and we'll let her do that now. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and just address us with what you want us to do.
Hello, my name is Shalisa Bertrand. I'm Shannon Bertrand's sister. And I just wanted to take this time and thank y'all for giving me this time to speak. And I was just speaking on my brother's behalf, just saying that he's a very loving person. He has children out here that needs him. He has a son that is a star player that's about to soon graduate that needs him home, a daughter. He's able to hold down a job, and he has a house that is rent still being paid for whenever he is released. And Shannon, he helps my mom a lot. He helps us all out a lot. He's a very caring person. He helps with our children, his nieces and nephews. And we would just, hopefully he'll be able to come home.
Thank you very much for being with us, Ms. Bertrand.
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, Mr. Bertrand, do you answer questions by Mr. Freeman?
Okay, good morning, Mr. Bertrand. Tell me what went on. What happened? Why were you arrested?
Okay, it was the morning. Me and my girlfriend, we had an argument, a disagreement, and I believe the neighbors heard us arguing because we live in an apartment, and the neighbors, I think the neighbors, somebody called the police, then once the police arrived, my girlfriend, she Hispanic, she could barely speak English. So when she was trying to explain to them, they don't know we're just arguing, and they couldn't really understand her. So they end up just taking me to the parish jail, and like about a month later, she ended up signing an affidavit form on my behalf. So that's pretty much really that happened that really led to my arrest.
Okay, was
And
there a
I
knife
plead guilty
involved?
to. Excuse me?
Was there a knife
A knife?
involved?
No, I didn't have a knife. When the police came inside, she was holding a knife at the kitchen, and she ended up giving it to him, but they
Okay.
seen her with it.
Did you grab her by the arm and throw her on the bed?
A bottle? No.
Okay, was she trying to leave and you wouldn't let her?
When the police came, I was trying to tell the police I wanted her out, but she didn't want to leave. We was just like arguing behind the whole situation, stuff that going on in the phone she didn't like.
That's not making sense according to the rep report, because I mean, she sent emails to her church saying she was trying to get out of there and you wouldn't let her leave. So what's that about? I mean, she just made the emails up or what?
I don't know, like we was talking, and then I ended up telling her that I wanted her to leave because it's some stuff that she seen in my phone, and some stuff that we could just basically just arguing behind everything. So she seen stuff in the phone, and I wanted her to leave, but she didn't want to go. She didn't want to go because she wanted to continue talking about this, exactly what was going on. So
Right.
I don't.
Would you not let her call her kids? Did you take her phone and wouldn't let her call her kids?
Did I take her phone? All right. At one time, I did get her phone that morning because she was looking through my phone. So I'm like, let me look through yours because you looking through mine. So basically, that's what happened.
Okay, well, so was her phone in your pocket when the police got there?
Yes.
And also, you tested positive for THC and PCP. What's that about? You using drugs again?
At one time, I tested positive for PCP in September of last year, and after that, I started a rehab. I started outpatient rehab center out here in Lake Charles, and I've been clean since.
Okay. Where is she today? Are y'all still talking?
We still be talking. We talk. Matter of fact, I just talked to her last night. She was supposed to be here, but I don't know what happened. I just talked to her last night on the phone.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering where she was. That sure would help your case. Now, why you said you pled guilty?
All right, I pled guilty because my parole officer had told me if my charge get dropped down from to like a lesser misdemeanor that's not dealing with a victim, then I wouldn't get violated. So after she signed the affidavit, I was gonna wait. But once I went to court and they asked me if I wanted to plea out the criminal mischief, I just went ahead and did it because I didn't think I was gonna get violated.
You know, we sent a memo out, and that's what making me question that. We have told all parole officers, never tell you you're not gonna be violated, because you could be violated even with no charges, much less pleading guilty to a charge. You understand?
I understand.
Okay, I have no further questions.
I'd like to address something you said to Mr. Freeman that doesn't seem quite right according to you went to an outpatient rehab in August, is that correct? Sir? You went to You went to outpatient drug rehab in August of last year?
No, I started in September last year. Oh, hold on, I ain't gonna, hold on. I went to an inpatient rehab in August last year. I put myself in inpatient rehab in August of last year, like a week after I paroled out. And then I started outpatient rehab in September last year.
And you had a failed drug test in November.
Oh, it was September. I know November. Probably was. Probably, no, right.
Okay.
I can't remember the date.
Why did you not report to the day reporting center? You were supposed to go to day reporting center and you never completed the intake.
You talking the request center, the mental health over there? Me and my me and my parole officer, we had an agreement for me to go to the Imperial Health on Carmen Street, and I was going into my Medicaid, and it ran out. I had to renew my Medicaid.
Mr. Prater, do you have any questions?
Not much, but tell me about the knife. Whose knife was that?
That was hers.
It was a folding knife, huh?
I suppose, yes.
Okay. Did you ever have it and threaten her with it?
No, sir. Because when the police went in, she had the knife. But she wasn't threatening me with it either. She was just in the kitchen with it.
Okay. I don't have any questions. I think I know what's going on.
Okay, at this time, Mr. Freeman, are you prepared to vote?
Yes, ma'am. You pled guilty in court to the criminal mischief which was a big break from the charges that you had pending. And I find you guilty of violating condition number 4 and number 10, and I vote to revoke your parole.
Mr. Prater?
Concur, that's, yes, ma'am, I concur. That's all I'll say, 4 and 10.
Mr. Bertrand, I also vote to revoke. I think that you've had a difficult time on supervision, and I'm not sure you've been forthcoming with the facts of the matter today. I find you guilty of number 4 and 10. You have been revoked today, sir. Okay, this is the 11:08, and we're signing off in Calhoun Parish. Thank you.
You're welcome. So.
Well, I might say the same thing if I found out that I'd have to spend, I don't know how much more time in prison, but with the new parole laws, you have to serve up to 85% of your sentence before you can even get another opportunity. So there could have been a lot riding on this. Now, this is what I was, well, okay, before we do, and Sir Richard pointed out this note, how Mr. Freeman used to run probation and parole before becoming a parole board member himself. You know, it is amazing to me that we still see parole officers saying, hey, just take a plea deal. We still see attorneys saying, hey, just take a plea deal. You know, it's okay if you just take a lower plea deal, if it's not a felony, if it's a misdemeanor. And it's just not true. The parole contracts clearly states you cannot be involved in any criminal activity. It's the most vague language there is, period. Vague for a reason. And it's a contentious point, and that's why Sir Richard brought it up, and that's specifically wanted to show this hearing because of that statement made by Mr. Freeman. We sent a letter to all of our parole officers letting them know you cannot, that's not going to solve the problem. You cannot take a plea deal, and we're gonna see a bunch of attorney hearings coming up, revocation hearings, where again we see attorneys make these mistakes, and it's mind-blowing to me that it's still happening. We've been watching the revocation hearings since they started airing it in 2020, so it's 4 years of the same mistakes, and it's inexcusable. in my opinion, that it's still happening. But apparently, the Louisiana Parole Board acknowledges it's happening. That's why they even sent a memo. That's why the parole, to their officers, you can't accept any type of charge. So here's what Sir Richard found when he was initially found guilty of murder, and then having the sentence reversed, and then eventually the DA just dropping the charges because the case fell apart. And if you can imagine having that second chance at life and blowing it, Shannon B DOC became a free man today after several years in jail awaiting trial for murder. The district attorney's office had dismissed charges against him for the murder of Marcus Mayo, but the DA says it's not over. Shortly after noon, Bertrand walked away from Calcasieu Correctional Center, where he was awaiting trial for the 2007 murder. Bertrand was once found guilty of second degree by Judge Wilfred Carter, but Carter granted a motion for a new trial, and now as the new trial was to begin, the district attorney dismissed charges. But the DA, John DeRoy, says not because they think that they have the wrong man. We have absolute confidence in the initial investigation that the Lake Charles Police Department did in this case. We think they found the right man. We tried the right man. We convicted the right man for the murder of the victim. Prosecutors say that 4 or 5 witnesses in the case all lied in court. And DeRosier says the some may face perjury charges. We need people who come to court and tell the truth, as we encourage these witnesses to do exactly that. Unfortunately, that did not happen in this case. However, Bertrand's attorney, Todd Clemens, says his client is not guilty. I'm glad they finally had the courage of their convictions to do the right thing. I believe this is something that should have been done several months ago, if not years ago, because I don't think they ever had enough evidence to prove this man's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's what the prosecutor's job is, to prove cases beyond a reasonable doubt. They may have had a theory about what happened, but they never had proof beyond a reasonable doubt. He expressed doubt there is evidence to warrant reinstating charges. They have 4 years to investigate. Why would it take 4 years to investigate a crime that occurred reportedly back in 2007? So I don't think there's any evidence that they're going to find after all these years. Marcus Mayo was shot 3 times, twice in the back of the head, and his family, along with law enforcement officials, pled for those who knew the truth to do the right thing, come forward. Judge Carter reversed his guilty verdict last year, saying that he considered improper evidence. So whether he actually did it or not, it's still a second chance at life when you have something overturned and set free. And I guess he had gotten locked up again to have even been in parole on the first place. And, oh yeah, it's a folding knife. Oh, it's her folding. Everyone uses folding knives in kitchens. That's a good one. And there you have it.
Tell me about the knife. Whose knife was that?
That was hers.
It was a folding knife, huh?
I suppose, yes.
Okay. Did you ever have it and threaten her with it?
No, sir. Because when the police went in, she had the knife. But she wasn't threatening me with it either. She was just in the kitchen with it.
Okay.